Wow. Okay, somebody's really bodged this car. This is my 1998 Range Rover P38 2.5 DSE project, which I effectively saved from a breaker's yard. I've been bringing it back to life, admittedly quite slowly, with the intention of putting her back on the road once again. Join me as we delve into a few more of her multiplicitous issues. Yeah, the old P38. I bet you guys had forgotten that I got this thing. I mean, maybe you've seen it in the background of a few L322 videos every now and again, but it's been a while since we've actually had a proper P38 dedicated video. And seeing as today seems to be the first day of spring in Ireland, although it probably isn't, it's probably going to start raining again tomorrow. In fact, it definitely is. I thought I'd make the most of it, come out here and see if I could get anything done on the old P38. As it happens, I stumbled across in my my pile of shame in the house there a box that I ordered for this car back in 2023. Yeah. This box is from Striker Land Rovers, who are one of our specialist part suppliers that we have over here in Ireland. And I think what I ordered back then is going to be what we're going to be trying to fit today, or at least some of it anyway. So the P38 actually isn't driving too badly at the moment. It does have a few issues still. One of the ones that you would have seen in the previous P38 video was there's a big vibration from the prop shafts. I'm pretty sure at least 2 of the prop shaft UJs are completely knackered, and that is what I ordered back in 2023 that should be in this box. We've also got a rubber donut to fit, and there's also a load of suspension bushes in here as well, which we may or may not get around to today, but they do need to go on at some point. So yeah, I've got the P38 up on the ramps again, and we're going to go head underneath and see if we can have a look at those prop shafts. Let's go under. Lovely day. So anyway, under the P38, this is our front prop shaft, this is our front diff here. There's a bit of diesel on here that I've noticed. I think that's coming down from the leak-off pipes up top. Let's have a look at them. Anyway, the prop shaft here, I'm pretty sure is what is causing a lot of our vibration, because look in there, you can see a little bit of shiny metal, which you shouldn't be able to see on the old UJ caps there. And also, I can shake it in the right direction. You can probably hear that. It's quite loose, a bit of play in this UJ, so that definitely needs changing. The rear one's probably a bit better, but also not looking in the best health. So we'll take the prop shaft off and we'll do both at the same time. And then on the back, on the P38, we've obviously got one donut at the front, which actually doesn't look too bad now I'm looking at it. There are cracks in it, but you normally get those anyway. But we'll try and replace this if we can. At the same time, we'll do that rear prop UJ as well. So yeah, start taking them off. Plenty of room to work under here on these ramps anyway. Not quite as good as a 4-post lift, but you know, not far off. Okay, so Land Rover prop shafts, everybody knows you've got to have one of these little tools. They go onto the, what are these, 9/16 nuts, which are pretty universal on older Land Rover prop shafts anyway. They go right from back in the series days all the way up to P38 and probably beyond. But yeah, they just allow you to get in on these nuts, which aren't always that easy to access, and get a ratchet in there, or even a impact gun, which I'm going to try. If you don't have a 9/16 spanner, a 15 kind of just about fits, it's a bit loose, and a 14's a bit tight. So, but you definitely want one of these. Let's try the 14 instead. See, that doesn't want to go on there. There's 15, it's really loose. Let's try again. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so that's the problem. You can't really get your impact. There we go. There it goes. You can really see how knackered up this UJ is now. Yeah, this is really loose. Absolutely cream crackered. Look at that. That's your problem. Okay, let's see if we can get him off now then. This end is knackered as well, I'm pretty sure. It's very loose anyway. Yeah, there's definitely some knock in that, so yeah, definitely both need changing. Okay, so here we are in the shed with my little vise on the bench that I built specifically to do stuff like this. Hopefully temporary until we get the proper garage, but yeah, for now, quite handy. Anyway, it's been a while since I've done one of these, but I think the general starting point at least is to try and pull these circlips out. Oh, there goes one. Didn't take much. And then we'll go for the other side as well. Woo! You'll be wearing your goggles for this. Okay, then we need to basically try and press these out. So yeah, from memory, stick a socket in there, squeeze it in the vise, and it should start moving. We might want to put a bit of penetrating fluid on this though, because it's a bit rusty. Right, just swapped my vices over to this big boy that Autodoc sent me a while back, because the little blue vise down there didn't open wide enough to get the socket and the yoke of the prop in. We actually might need to go a bit further than this still, so hopefully there's a bit more travel to get another socket on this side to enable it to have space to push out. But anyway, let's see what happens when I start squeezing down on this guy. There we go. Start to move. Comes. Like I say, it has been a while since I've done this, but that might be as far as we can go without a socket on this side. Yeah, so that's come out flush to this now, so we need a bigger socket on this side to give it some space. Okay, so 27mm socket should fit over the outside of that nicely. Yeah, so we're going to have to open this pretty wide. I have got a massive record, old record vise in the house actually that I'm saving for the garage in the future. Hopefully we don't have to resort to pressing that into service. There we go. So now hopefully this can come off. Yep. So you can pull off your end caps, and then the yoke should come out like that. So yeah, these two are actually okay. It's that one there that's failed completely, lost all of its rollers. So get this out of the way for now. This actually seems like a pretty decent vise as far as new vices go. Anyway, everyone knows the old ones are the best, but sure look. Okay, I'm just going to stick this in to get the circlip out. Rinse him out. This one looks like it was never put in properly in the first place. So I mean, that is completely flush with the top, and the circlip is closed up, so perhaps that's what caused this to fail. Probably is. How the hell is that staying in there? It's just wedged. Yeah, that was not doing anything, that circlip. Right, let's press him out. That should do. There it goes. Oops. So it was actually grease in the prop and the UJ anyway. Just installed incorrectly by the looks of it. Sockets many times in this job. That's that out anyway. So that needs a good clean up. So for our replacements, we have unfortunately got Brit part. These do say they've got a 24 something guarantee, I'm guessing it's 24 months, and that they are heavy duty. Let's see what they look like. I would have preferred to get GKN. I don't think the supplier had them at the time. So we've got our new O-rings, and we have got greases on these at least. Anyway, we've got grease nipples, or grease zergs as the Americans like to call them. So I'll zoom you guys out a bit. Yeah, apart from not having the GKN logo on there, they actually don't look too bad really. Okay, nice new circlip going in. Lovely. And just give that a bit of a squeeze up. So actually push against the circlip a bit now. Lovely. Lovely. Okay, lovely. So back under the P38 here, and I'm pretty sure from just looking at the footage I just took earlier, you guys will be able to tell me that the prop shaft was slider end at the diff, which I think is wrong. I think the slider should always be at the prop shaft end because it's kind of facing uphill slightly then, which means that all of your grease doesn't try and run out. I'm pretty sure that's the reason, and that's the way it always seems to be on Land Rovers, so I'm actually going to flip it round and put the slider end on the transfer box. And there we go, that is one prop shaft back in place with two brand new UJs. The rear one, as I said, isn't anywhere near as bad. That rubber donut isn't even really cracked enough to warrant replacing just yet. So for now, what I feel like doing is getting the P38 back down off the ramps, taking it for a quick spin up the road and seeing if that prop shaft vibration that we had before has been rectified. So let's go and try that out really quick. Right, so let's see if all that idling earlier is enough for the P38 to start back up again. No. Right, time to try out the old JS3000 then. Okay, let's give this another go. Sounds better. There we go, lovely. Right. Okay, let's get those ramps out. Let's go for a quick spinneroonie up the road. Put some lights on. It's getting a bit dark now. Right, let's go for a quick spin down the road. Already way smoother. So yeah, before we had a horrible prop shaft vibration that was making the whole steering wheel shudder around whenever you got to a certain speed. So yeah, way better already. Oh, it's pretty comfy now. That's 40 miles an hour. It's about top speed for a P38 diesel. See if the windows are going to react to us. Oh, they are. Whoop. Okay, so that one needs a bit of TLC. Brakes have built up a little bit of surface rust whilst I've been whilst the car's been parked up. So they need to clean up a little bit before they'll be back to fully working condition. But yeah, P38 diesel problems. Mainly P38 diesel automatic problems, because I think the manual ones aren't quite as bad as this. But yeah, anyway, talking about that automatic gearbox, that is one of the jobs we have on the list still to do on the P38. I bought a large amount of ATF so we can give this a proper flush out, and I've also got the sump and I've also got a replacement filter for it as well. Yeah, to get it to actually go, you do have to rev the nuts off these M51 diesels, so yeah, that's what you can hear thrashing away under the bonnet. But really, actually, when you're rolling, it's not too bad. It's not too loud, really. It does feel cool to be behind the wheel of the P38 again, and for the most part it is doing what it should be doing right now, which feels quite strange. As I'm sure any P38 owner will tell you. And yeah, I think once this transmission's been serviced, hopefully it won't hold gears as much as it does now, and it'll get up the gearbox a bit faster. I know that this is kind of what they're like anyway. They're quite revvy, these engines, and the auto box is really quite slushy. But yeah, hopefully that service will do us some good. Yeah, this is almost to the point now where I could see myself driving this as a daily, which actually might happen if and when I take the L322 off the road for some work. So yeah. Come on, off we go. Unfortunately, someone is coming the other way now, which means I'm going to have to stop and build up all my progress all over again, which is a disaster in the P38. But anyway. Off we go. So, now that prop shaft's sorted, we can look at a few other different little bits and pieces that need to be done on the P38. So I'm going to start looking at a few bits on the interior, and specifically the HEVAC unit, or HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning unit here down in the dashboard. Now on my car, as you may have seen, the radio's missing, but also if you look down at the HEVAC unit here, the control knob that adjusts the fan speed and has the automatic control in the middle of it is missing from my HEVAC unit. So I need to replace the whole unit to repair that. You can't really just replace the knob very easily. So to do that, we're going to take out the rest of the dash. And handily, I've got a replacement unit that I've been through, and I've already done the zebra repair to the LCD screen. So the LCD screen's working nicely now. So we'll switch that unit over, and then hopefully we'll be a bit closer to having a working HVAC system in the Range Rover. So very roughly, I think this unit has to come out, which has already got no screws in it, because I think this has been, somebody's been messing around with this to try and fix the window issue that we've got. But this needs to come off fully, and I think we need to pull the handbrake lever off to do that, which is fine, because I actually want to replace this gator anyway. As you can see, it's pretty knackered, so let's see if this comes off. Right. Undo this little blue connector. Yeah, you can already see this has got some wrecker writing on it, as they call it in America, from the breaker's yard that it came from, which I think was probably Anton's. Okay. So yeah, that's been replaced before. The other way you can tell is that this trim here, I'm pretty sure, is different wood grain to the factory original stuff there. So anyway, we'll figure out how to replace that gator in a minute. So next, this guy needs to come out. Little Phillips screw down here in the middle. Like that. Just pull the shifter back. There we go. So that's not even plugged in. There's supposed to be a supposed to of course be a 12-volt outlet / cigarette lighter in there, which we will be replacing as well. We might have to do something about this fake wood trim. I'm pretty sure this is fake anyway. I can't see that Land Rover would have done it like that. This car, when we got this car, it did have fake wood trim stuck all over the vents and the dashboard as well, so I think this is the same kind of stuff. This could all do with a really clean up as well by the looks of this. Right, next should be a screw in here, which there is, in the side panel. And there should be one here as well, but I can feel it's already been taken out, so that's always a good sign when the dashboard's been apart. Now this part of the dash here has already been cracked by somebody, so I have actually got a replacement for that as well, so we could try and replace this at the same time. Let's see how we get on though. And here we got some more evidence of this old phone system on here, which I'm probably going to take off, to be honest. especially if we replace this dash panel here, we won't have any holes left by this thing, so yeah, we'll get rid of it all if we can. Right, let's see if we can get this other side off without damaging him. There's no extra screws down here, is there? Oh yeah, there is. Maybe these are factory, I'm not sure. This unit isn't even held in by any screws, which it's supposed to be. You can see it's already moving around. Okay, let's him out of the way. Okay, so now this guy should just come straight out. I've already unplugged it because I've been experimenting with it. But there's our HEVAC unit. So I'll go and get our replacement ready and I'll bring it back in a minute. Right, so here we are with our replacement HEVAC unit. As I said, I went through this one and replaced the zebra connector for the LCD screen, so that should all be working nicely now. And it also should have a working bulb behind the LCD screen, as that's the other thing that can fail, these little twisty bulbs in here. And then you can't see the screen at all. So let's chuck this back in. Plug it back in first, and then we'll see if we can see anything on the screen. I'll just turn the ignition on quickly before we put it all back together again and see what we've got. As an aside, we might also chuck a radio back in here as well, because I've got a couple of P38 radios to try. I'm not sure if I've got any codes for any of them, but unfortunately this radio wiring has also been bodged pretty badly as well. So anyway, that's not relevant right now. So let's take our HVAC connectors. I think that's one of them as well. Should be 4 in total. Somehow there's a lot of connections for the old P38 HVAC. Let's get this shifter out of the way. Plug him in there. Plug him in there. Him in there. And you with all these connectors there. Okay, right, let's try that out. So it's pretty dim. So it doesn't look like the bulb is working properly anyway. Oh, there you go, it's just come on. Why is it? Yeah. The viewing angle of the old P38 screen isn't the best. But when you view it from the angle you're actually supposed to view it from, which is kind of up here, you can actually see what's going on. And it is actually responding to my inputs, which is good. Knob is working. These appear to be working as well. As you can probably hear, no fan noise happening at the moment, so yeah, the blow motors don't appear to be working, but at least we have some life in here, and again we've got response from the knob here, so it's a good start. So let's see if we can get this thing out of the way. Yeah, and it's stuck on horribly with a couple of self-tappers, so we'll take them out. So I think it's broken there as well. Yeah, so let's see if we can get it off. I need to check I've actually got one. I'm pretty sure I do. One of the pieces that I got from Anton. Have a look, see what we got. So I've just had a look at the other one that we've got here that I've got spare, and it's actually not as good as I remembered. It's actually probably worse in some ways than this one is. The plastic, this one seems nice and clean and kind of still quite shiny. This one seems to have had some kind of sticky, almost like delamination of the coating. So around here it feels, maybe it would clean up, to be honest. but this one is also missing quite a few chunks of plastic. You know, a few of the tabs are broken off as well. So the problem is that all the plastics in these cars are so old and brittle now that they do break very easily. So I mean, whilst this is still good to have spares for switches that we might need in the future, I'm going to leave this plastic in place. One thing that is cool though, this is from a manual P38, so we've got the low range switch here because you obviously don't have this selector on the P38 manual, so yeah, that's quite cool. But I did find the replacement transmission selector surround in my P38 parts stash, and also the replacement handbrake gaiter and hand lever, which you can see is in much better condition, so we'll put these back on when we start reassembling now. Wow. Okay, somebody's really bodged this car. Just realised somebody has cut this actually in half, this mounting on the side here at some point. Why on earth did they do that? I'm not sure. But that has been sawed in half with what looks like a jigsaw. Great. That's why all the dash is a bit loose and sloppy in this car, it seems. Some people should just not be allowed anywhere near nice things, like P38 Range Rovers. The tab is broken off here as well, it's just butchered. I'm not entirely sure how this stayed in position before, to be honest with you. So I think I've got a solution to that, and I'll get back to that in a minute. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is start cleaning everything up with a bit of spray in these cloths, just to get everything ready to go back together again in a minute. So yeah, definitely down here around all this needs a really good clean out. That's looking a bit better. So one other thing we can try and do now is just switch over this knackered old handle and gaiter for a new one. So we've got to figure out how this comes off. Okay, that should come through there somehow. Okay, that can go in the trash. That should basically just clip straight back into place. Lovely. There we go. Nice, quick, easy upgrade there. This piece is also going to go back in because it's actually proper, an original wood piece without the fake trim stuck on it here, and it's also got the cigarette lighter in there ready to go, so we can give this a bit of a clean up and then it can go back on again when we're ready. So this horrible bodgery here, which I've got no idea why they actually did that, cannot think why you would have to do that. I could either strip the whole dashboard out and try and get a part like this from Anton and replace it, or I could make a bodge plate. So this is a little plate I've just 3D printed, which my plan is to screw it on there with a few self-tappers to hold it all together again. Little screws like that, and that should be strong enough for my purposes anyway. So yeah, advantages of 3D printing. You can probably see on there I've just left a little message on there for the future person that strips this down or works on it in the future. Sorry for the bodgery. It's not my bodgery, this is my fixed bodge, so yeah, it's acceptable. Okay, it's the first one. There we go. Definitely a bodge, but that's really strengthened up the dash a lot, and it's put the top of the dash back in the place it needs to be, so that'll all get covered up. Like I said, not perfect, but the person literally cut the dashboard in half, so what was I meant to do? Anyway, let's get back on with reassembling. Oh, many pieces of Range Rover everywhere. That's rubbish. I can get out of the way, and so can that. Okay. So first piece is to go back in on the screws. Okay, let's try and pop our HEVAC unit into place. So you can get tucked back in there. Those two will do for now, nice and sturdy. That looks good, nice and complete. This is for our radio, which we're going to try and fit in a minute perhaps. But now let's start getting our centre console back together again. So this piece we cleaned up earlier is going to go in with a functioning ashtray cover. No ashtray itself though, we've got an ashtray in the other one, that's the question. Yes we do, so we can transfer the ashtray into that one. Give this a quick clean out. So that can get popped into there. Like that. Close that up for now. And then we've got a little plug on the back here, two little plugs to go onto our 12-volt socket. So I'll connect him up. May or may not be working, I'm not sure if we've got the right fuse in here or anything yet, so we'll try and figure that out. That goes over there. And that squeezes back down into place like that. Looking pretty good. We've got our single screw to go in down here. Okay. Looks nice. And I think we can put this on. Move it away. And wedge the lever back into place. That's got a long way to go. Maybe a bit of silicone spray or something might be helpful. Right. I'll give that a bit of a spray or wipe with some silicone to make it go in easier. GT85 on here. Just to give it a bit of something to slide on. Hopefully that helps. I think it's just really tight. I think that's as far on as it's going to go. You can access the button fine. There, like that. And we've got a couple of screws to put in on the top here. But yeah, for now, that looks a lot neater already, even though we've clearly got a bit of a mismatch in wood trims here. But this looks way nicer now with this upgraded gaiter and handle. Nice leather. This looks a lot tidier than the fake wood. So let's get our side panels on, get a radio in, and we'll have a pretty much complete P38 dash for the first time in this car. Oh, I'm out of breath. Okay, with that, the dashboard's looking pretty good with the exception of this hole here, which was done by the previous owner. I'll have to see if I can find a replacement one of these in better condition, switch it over, because then we'll get rid of these holes in the dash. But anyway, it's not looking too bad. One last thing to do is to pick one of these radios and stick it into the car. Now this one's got a slightly dodgy scan button there, so I'm going to go for this one, I think. The issue we're going to have is I don't think I've got any codes for either of these. So what I'll do is take the serial number off of it, because sometimes you can get codes off the internet if you know where to look. And I'm fairly sure this is the correct radio for this era of P38, but this might also be from a slightly later car, like a facelift car. Anyway, I'm going to give it a quick wipe on the face there, and then we'll chuck it in and see if it works. Right, let's get this out of the way, connect up our wires. See if we get any power for a start. Which we do. It says Range Rover on there. W fit. Not sure what that means. Oh, wait. I think some of the pixels are a bit knackered. Wait. Okay, so a quick bit of Googling. The wait is basically a lockout, security lockout, which means that this radio has had the incorrect code put into it 3 or 4 times. So that should be about a half an hour timer, basically. So, yeah, I'm not sure if that was me or if that was a previous owner. But what we'll probably do is stick it in, we'll leave the ignition on and give it a chance to time itself out. And if it does, then I'll see if I can find a code for it somewhere. Possibly online somewhere. So yeah, I'll stick it in for now. Better connect the aerial as well. So we can listen to that beautiful radio, and then I'll stick it back in the dash. At least we'll have a complete looking dash anyway for the time being. Okay. Oh, I just turned it off and on again, so we've reset our timer. But that looks so much better, doesn't it? Proper radio, but it's just this little bit of dashboard that's broken, which is letting it down a little bit. I'll have to see if I can find the piece that dropped out and glue it back in, but yeah, it is pretty knackered. Anyway, we'll leave the ignition on, and I'll record a little bit of B-roll now so you guys can see what it looks like. But yeah, overall she's looking a lot better.